Our gospel lesson is from Matthew 11, 28 through 30. Hear these words of Jesus. Come to me, all you that are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Are you weary because you are carrying a heavy burden? Well, Jesus says, come to me, and I will give you rest. I thought about the old spiritual, Down by the Riverside. It's kind of like a lyrical response of someone who says to Jesus, yes, I am weary. Yes, I'm carrying heavy burdens. And yes, I want to come to you and have rest. I'm going to lay down my sleepy head down by the riverside. I'm going to lay down my burden down by the riverside. I ain't going to study war no more, not even the war of my burdens. I'm going to lay down my sword and shield. I'm going to stick my sword in the golden sand. Going to try on my long white robe. Going to try on my starry crown. Going to put on my golden shoes. Going to talk with the Prince of Peace. Going to shake hands around the world. Going to cross the River Jordan. Going to climb up that mountain. Going to climb the road to heaven. It's like saying, Lord, I'm going to lay down my burden. I've been carrying it. I've been going to war with it. I've been fighting it. I've been denying it. I've been putting on a happy face. I've been self-medicating to get through the day. I'm just so darn tired. And I don't see the end in sight. So here, Lord, I'm putting it at your feet. Here's my fear, or my guilt, or my illness, or my injury, or my worry, or my family, or my dread, or my disappointment, or my broken relationship, or my depression, or my despair, or my anger, or my resentment, or my grief. Lord, if you are the source of rest, then hand me my long white robe and my starry crown and my golden shoes, and talk with me and lead me onto that road to heaven. For as St. Augustine wrote in his Confessions, you have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it rests in you. The Lord responds to us in that most vulnerable of moments of actually laying down our burden, for it is a vulnerable moment. He says, I know what your burden has been like. It's been like an ill-fitting, heavy yoke that you wear. It is the collar that's put on the beast of burden, that ox that spends its days pulling a heavy plow down endless rows in a field. And as you throw that old heavy yoke down, pick up my yoke, my collar, and put it on, and learn from me. My yoke will fit you well. It will even be tailored for you. For I am gentle and humble in heart. If you will let me be your teacher, and if you learn from me, you will find rest for your soul. You see, unlike that very difficult yoke that you have been carrying, my yoke is easy. And unlike the heaviness of your burden, the burden of me is light. I will not be a burden to you. I will teach you how to live in the light of the knowledge that God is near all the time. You will have heaven at your doorstep and in your heart. I will teach you that God's power is healing power, and there is healing for your soul as well as rest. I will teach you that God will listen and wants to listen when you need to unburden yourself by sharing with God what troubles you. I will teach you about a very special gift that God has for you. And this gift will enable you to find rest for your soul whenever you need it. It is the gift called forgiveness. God will give you this gift freely, and you can use it with others and with yourself, and as often as you need to. Rest for your soul is not a one-time thing, but a way of life. A forgiven and a forgiving soul is a rested soul. So embrace God's gift of forgiveness. Make it your sword and shield. And then you can grow into gentleness and humility like me. I will teach you that being humble is freeing and will bring rest for your soul. A humble person is not merely a wallflower. A humble person has the freedom to see things as they are. A humble person can even see their own self and judge their own behavior accurately. A humble person can acknowledge and accept something done well without getting all puffed up. A humble person can accept and acknowledge something done poorly without getting really down on yourself. A humble person can maintain a steady course of self-acceptance and well-being in the midst of life's challenges that sometimes go well and sometimes not. I will teach you how to seek God's help in the midst of life's challenges. Be very honest with God, even when you're upset with God. Surely you don't think God cannot handle your emotions. Tell God what you really want, regardless of what anybody else thinks you should want. Tell God that you're really going to trust for that help, even though it may take a while. And give God your thanks and praise. And go on and live in hope. A rested soul is a hopeful soul. And so when we put on Jesus' yoke and learn from Him, we will find rest for our weary souls. Your rested soul will discover the relief and the lightening that you will feel as you lay down your burden. Your rested soul will be a healing soul that rejoices in God's nearness. Your rested soul will be a confident soul that God really does listen and wants to listen to your prayers, even if you need to unburden yourself again. Your rested soul will be a forgiven and a forgiving soul. Your rested soul will be a humble soul in which you can have a sense of well-being that does not hinge on the ups and downs of daily life. Your rested soul will be a hopeful soul. When I read that poetry in the Song of Solomon this week, I thought how much it is a poetic expression of what it is like to lay our burden down at the feet of the Lord and to find rest. It's such a beautiful and refreshing feeling. The young woman sees her beloved coming and then hears his voice. My beloved speaks and says to me, "Arise, my love, and my fair one, and come away. For now the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree puts forth its figs, and the vines are in blossom. They give forth fragrance. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away." Amen.